What's going on, guys? So it has been a while since I have done one of these videos. I'm trying to think of the last tournament. I want to say it's Muscogee. And so here's like a little catch-up video of what I have kind of been up to. So the last WAPT event, which was now about 2 weeks ago, I honestly played really, really well. I was starting to find like that groove, that swing rhythm, I want to say almost like the mental capacity to be able to go out there and tell myself I can shoot some low numbers. And so I had left that tournament missing the cut by 1. I believe it could have been 2. I haven't really looked, but I know that I've been hearing it from my mom, and I thought it was 2. But anyway, so I had missed the cut by 1, and which was very unfortunate because I had definitely had given myself some opportunities to make up some ground. But overall, though, it was like the game is headed in the right direction. And so I spent a whole week back in Phoenix trying to prepare. I saw my coach twice, which was really good. We kind of tightened up some things, and overall just feeling really prepared for the sponsor's invite that I got for the 4 Winds Invitational, which is where I am right now. And so yesterday was the first round of the tournament, and honestly, I believe that I played very solid. I wouldn't say it was good, but it was very solid. Like my misses, from what I had been seeing previously well, basically since the beginning of the year, was that my misses were like 30 yards off the planet instead of now my misses are about 10 to 15 yards. So, which is very, very positive because that means that I'm going to be keeping my ball in the vicinity of, say, the fairway or, say, the green. So when I get like one that might be a little too far off, that's the one that's going to be, in the rough or off the green. And so yesterday, I guess the round overall was really good. So I had the best birdie luck on hole number 1. And it's like, that feeling where it's like you kind of just take off and things just kind of feel in rhythm. That's really how yesterday's round started. Until I went bogey, 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 which I'll kind of explain, because what's hard about talking to people about my round who aren't actually present during the round is that the score is a number, and it could have been a good bogey, it could have been a sloppy bogey, it could have been a good double, like you really have no idea. Or like if I make a string of pars in a row, it's like, why isn't she making birdie? Where in all actuality, it's like I could be looking at birdie on every single hole. So anyway, I'll kind of describe these 3 holes that kind of like set me off in terms of like, I'm playing well, but now you got to fight. So after hole 1, good birdie look. Hole 2, I kind of just sprayed my driver to the right, but it's a dog leg right. So I'm just like barely in the tree line. And the green's elevated by like 8 feet. So I just decided to chip out to the fairway, gave myself a good 80-yard shot. And I mean, I stuffed it to about 5 feet. So I gave myself a really good chance at making par. But it was just a downhill slider to the left. So I mean, it was a good try. So I was like, okay, bogey, no big deal. So then the second hole, I kind of overcorrected. So I went left, barely into the rough. But on this course, there are some spots, I would say maybe 80% of the course is, if you miss the fairway, the rough is really thick. So I believe I maybe had 160 yards to the pin. So I took a 5-iron and tried to just like hack it and bump and run it all the way up to the front, which I did do that. So the execution of the shot was perfect. So then I got up there, and I believe I maybe had like 22 yards to the pin. So it was just like a long chip. So I chipped it up there, but I got a little aggressive with it. So I chipped it up there. I don't even know how far past the hole, and just caught the edge, missed the putt. So it was a good par putt to have, but made bogey. And then the next hole, I just caught, which is a par 3, I just caught the lip of the bunker, which the sand is like hit or miss. So it's like you either get something really fluffy or you're gonna get something really hard. So I got something really fluffy, so I just tried to like almost chunk and run it out of there. But I just hit it a little too hard. Flew over the green. Sorry, flew over the green. Really good putt because it was downhill, slider to the left again, and just left it on the high side, missed it by a couple inches. So it's like, what I see is like right now, okay, I'm 3 over, but it doesn't feel that way because it actually is solid golf. It's not like in previous months where I had been out at a tournament and it's just kind of like spray it over there, get it back in and get it on the green and make a 2 putt from 40 feet, you know, where like now it's like, I'm just off. I'm giving myself a good opportunity. I'm getting it on the green within, you know, a 10-foot radius, and I'm giving myself the chance to make par. So for me, it's like they're classy bogeys, sort of. So anyway, so it's like it was kind of like this trend that was happening during my round. It was like kind of like this push cut right or this kind of like low left shot, and I know that what has been happening in previous months is like, okay, I'm getting too far right, I'm trying to swing left, and that's kind of what my coach and I have been working on. And during our last lesson, my alignment was a little off, so I was getting too far right or too far left and like kind of like pushing the ball on line, push cutting the ball on line, which I was okay with. And so we worked on alignment, getting me more back to the right, and I think I slightly over-exaggerated, so sorry, Shane, but I slightly over-exaggerated, which meant I was basically doing my old miss, which was high right, low left. And so I got to about hole, I believe it was 14 or 15, where I was like, light bulb, here is your fix. And so the last 5 holes were just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I did have a bogey in there, but that's because I got unlucky with it being a really, really tough lie in the rough. But overall, it's like, you know, I'm looking at this 6 over round, not really as like a disappointment. Like, I feel like I'm more disappointed in the fact that, you know, I got a sponsor's invite and I would love to go out there and play the best that I possibly can. But, you know, that just wasn't the cards yesterday. It was more so like I'm holding on, I'm trying to just guide shots instead of just letting it kind of free flow. And so I'm just, you know, a little frustrated, but overall it's like I know the game is exactly where it needs to be and it's trending in the right direction in terms of Q School being around the corner, which now with it being August, it's in a little over a month and a half. And so I like the direction that everything's moving, and I'm just trying to stay positive, trying to just keep the momentum going. But yeah, so there was the last couple weeks all in a nutshell and yesterday's round, and I'm hoping that today is going to be a better day. So round 2 today. Hopefully I'll post the video by tomorrow. Thanks.